points in that second quarter. Atlanta cleaned that up a little bit, and that's because they've been getting some of those interior steals and deflections. And as we watch,
Latoya Sanders spent her time collegiately at North Carolina for Carson Mesco and his staff that he's leaned on in his first year. Randy Poole that spent time at Dallas, Chelsea Lyles, who he coached with at Florida Gulf Coast, and Cameron Brown as well for the Atlanta Dream, as right away Indiana strikes first in the second half.
And we talked about Latoya Sanders, how we know her as Latoya Pringle from her days in UNC when we used to play against her. It's so weird calling her.
Just down by 2 at halftime, and back-to-back looks for Indiana. Point game.
Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, the way they come off screens and are able to readjust their body mid-air, the balance that it takes at that speed coming off of screens, it's very hard to do. But that three was pure.
There are shooters and there's professional scorers, and those two are the latter. Gray shifting herself on the inside. She's going to draw the foul, and Caitlin Clark picks up her third foul.
She's feisty, she's competitive, and she's a perfectionist. She wants to get it right, and Stephanie White telling us before the game that they don't like to waste reps. Her, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, they make the most out of their use in practice and on the court.
An awkward landing for Sophie Cunningham, holding at her ankle. The plays you always hate to see when you go up and inadvertent just landing zone.
And it happens so often too.
So 4 on the shot clock. Ryan Howard gets it to Nia Coffey, in and out triple. Alisa Gray, I don't know how she found her footing. Shatori Walker-Kimbrell gets fouled on the three-point attempt by Kelsey Mitchell.
Mitchell knows that that wasn't a smart foul. She wants that one back. Kelsey Mitchell, much smarter defender.
Shatori connects on the first one.
Yeah.
Really quickly, the clutch free throws of the game are sponsored by Free at Last Bail Bonds, the place that people.
Shatori telling us she's free at last here in Atlanta. She can play, she can be herself. But said it wasn't awkward at all. She said when they go to Washington this week, it might be a little more awkward because it's not a preseason game and it'll be for real, but everybody was chilling and just welcomed her back.
It was fun to see her backcourt with Brittany Sykes, and there was an inadvertent collision of sorts in that preseason game, and the converse practice, that camaraderie that they've had in their tenure at Washington. Now finding a home here in Atlanta.
Yeah, both dynamic players too, just good off the bounce, athletic, and both have had stints with Atlanta. Brittany Sykes had a few after her rookie season.
Ryan Howard, who has struggled from the field today. She does have 7, just 1 for 9 though. Connecting more at the free throw line in this ball game. Bree Jones off the mark.
Watching how Ryan Howard's 7 points, all in the second quarter, just ignited this team. You had Tahina Powell who started pushing the pace in that first quarter and got Atlanta back in the game in quarter. And she went 4 for 4 from the free throw line, meaning they touched the paint. And it was Atlanta.
Always something that you're looking at for Leah Boston. One of the coolest connections is her seeing how she was receiving the ball from Caitlin Clark to start this season. We're seeing a lot of different rotations too for Steph White, as Bree Jones getting a rare look for the seal inside.
That was an awesome seal because she pushed Aaliyah Boston right underneath the basket. Defensively, if you're Boston, you cannot get that deep, but that's a good sign for Bree Jones, who used her body well.
Kelsey Mitchell, the dipsy-do to the rim. She fought for every
rightfully deserved attention with Caitlin Clark last season. A lot of the attention was on her, but the Kelsey Mitchell that we saw last year really anchored that Fever team. I think she was not undervalued, but Ryan Howard getting the block, but his call for the foul on DeWanna Bonner, can't believe it.
So that will be Ryan.
We restart the second half with a jump ball.
Defense.
So during that timeout, we were wondering what was going on, it was because there was a challenge that was called. And so it was successful for the jump ball there and a shot clock violation.
24-second violation.
So seeing some success from that challenge. No free throws, you get a stop.
Didn't get it in time to avoid the shot clock violation. Brianna Jones taking up some of that energy with Aaliyah Boston's post up.
Bonner on Howard, plenty of time on the shot clock as Bree Jones begging for the ball, gets it on the deep seal and drains it as she falls to the deck.
In the row that she's gotten Aaliyah Boston deep underneath the basket, and it's her movement as well. She knows how to position her body.
Bodies everywhere, challenging on the floor, and another jump ball will ensue.
And something the dream has been where I want to run anywhere.
So Caitlin Clark will take the ball out right in front of the scorer's table. Gets it to Kelsey Mitchell up top. 10 on the shot clock, the step back pull, and off the rim. Ryan Howard has been sitting at 7 points. All 7 of those points were in the second quarter as we're halfway through the third. Shatori finds Bree Jones again. The scoop!
Bree Jones saying, where's my foul at? There's a lot of contact. She is putting on a clinic in the paint, and those are not easy shots over Aaliyah Boston.
She can score in a myriad of ways. Might want to patent that scoop that we saw in the last one as Jones has 11 points, 6 in the third, and has an opportunity to build on that here. Gray finds Ryan Howard. 3-ball good, and her first points in the second half.
We can tell when her shot is going to fall because the screen didn't even need a dribble, and you can just see her line it up. We know when it's going to fall for Ryan Howard.
Hockey substitution on the way for Atlanta. Caitlin Clark in and out. Shatori thought she had a pick. Nothing there as Brianna Bonner left alone. And too much sauce on that.
Going in. She was running the other way.
Nia again finding
Beautiful.
the dive of Bree Jones. And no points coming from that possession. Chelsea Mitchell so quick.
In a flash, she got up the court. We were still looking down here at the other end.
There was like a flash of light that we saw from the jersey as Shatori Walker-Kimbrough was talking to the official about the wrap. Caitlin Clark on the deck. Brianna Bonner slow to get up. But in this series, as they have the numbers and the bucket going down for Alicia Gray.
A lot of bodies hitting the floor at both ends of the court. The refs letting them play out here. When your teammates can whip the ball around and find you, Brianna Jones is putting on a clinic on how to post up deep inside the paint.
But also the right intent and understanding where you want the ball on the floor. And we saw a couple of outside shots by her before.
In force, but when you came in and we announced that we were signing you, you are an X factor, and I told you your game. I love the way you move your body, how you're active. This was the 6th woman of the year in the league not too long ago, and she's led clearances, and she's been a big part of that. So Brianna Jones, I'm excited to just have a double big lineup that we can use.
Yes, and also another player that scored over 2,000 points in her career as Haley Jones hit the last 2 free throws for Atlanta. Coach Mesko, all you've seen at practice too, working with the shot, how she's handling pressure as well. So we'll get to see more of her and what that role could be under his tutelage.
And more of in her position, right? Like last season with injuries to both Jordan Canada and Ryan Howard, she had to step in and play a lot of that point guard position. So she's got size over other guards who play in the wing. That's where her strength is.
First one good for Ashley Jones at knowing that she can light it up from outside. Very good when it comes to connecting, and that type of style is what he's to see during his time, finding different looks from the outside. And this is, even now, when you think about players trying to find a roster spot, we don't have a development league or anywhere that you can go in the offseason. Yes, we are having the expansion, so it's fun to see the growth of the WNBA, but there's still a lot of talent out there, and these are moments where if you don't make this roster, someone is out there watching. Jones, short on the attempt. So there, where can you fit with me? So,
and a lot of the time in these preseason games, you have coaches who will get a player who lit them up, and they had to defend them and then bring them back. And Stephanie White telling us that she schemed a lot against Caitlin Clark last year. And the way she wants Caitlin to play is when they practice against each other on offense and defense, they scheme against her so that she can see every little look that she'll possibly find, which makes her better for her team being able to handle certain situations and pressure.
Jones off again as Jaylen Brown comes in. Spent some time at Dallas. So Brianna Jones, who is now the assistant for Atlanta, very familiar with her game.
And Jaylen, I'm sorry, Angel. Jaylen Brown is one of those players who scored 21 points against Indiana while she was with Dallas. So that goes to show you that this coach, listen, you lit us up. I'm about to pull you into my team. Hopefully she makes the roster, but at least she's getting the shot right here in this game.
Indiana up by double figures. A nice rejection by Haley Jones.
AK Timpson is used to doing that to other players, not having it done to her.
Sydney Colson up top. We saw her knock down a lot of threes with the Aces, finding a new home in Indiana. Taylor Theory, a product from Ohio State. She can lock down on that side of the floor. The coach talked about her IQ and what he loved about
the roster. She's probably trying to create for her teammates and so she could be a good player. It's like, nah, shoot that thing when you open.
Lexi Hull getting downhill, finds the bucket and one, as this will be the largest lead for Indiana.
Where Jones was slow to recover.
Lexi Hull, the product and standout at Stanford, actually won it at Stanford. Jones again from outside, finally getting one to go.
Jones option, and Naz Hillman, who had eluded her defense and gotten slipped to the rim, but Jones knocking that one down in the face of the defense.
Hull again, finding her rhythm offensively in the fourth. She's now in double figures with 10 in 17 minutes of play.
What's impressive about that with Lexi Hull is she knows how to take a back seat when she has Serge out here.
.13 lead for Indiana as Sajina Pow tried to work baseline, finds Theory. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and there won't be anything to go for Jones. So that's the level of communication. We don't see a lot of vets on the floor. The only player with multiple years.
They give you bag duties, like you got to carry the bags and stuff off the plane. But it's nice that now they're doing the talent show competitions. We do it with the Hawks as well. But it's always fun to watch.
Taylor Theory streaking up the floor, gets the 2 at the rim. First points of the ball game for Taylor.
You know, as we watch all these college athletes who had amazing college careers, some champions, some NCAA tournament, just holding NCAA records, it reminds me of the talks where there just aren't enough roster spots. Even with expansion, there's so much talent out there. And it takes me back to the conversation that we had as Tahina Pow puts up another 3. But and she's only been in the league 4 seasons, this is her 4th season. So much talent. Not enough teams to fill the rosters, but these players are playing because their number can be called at any point in the season.
Yes. Less than 5 minutes here in the 4th quarter as Haley Jones sends that back up to Naz Hillman. The back door broken up. The 11th turnover for Atlanta. They've given 11 points.
And these exhibition games are about finding the groove, finding the chemistry, finding the niche, where you want the ball, how high, what kind of pass does this person like, where are they going to be on the board when I do this. So the turnovers I'm not too much worried about from either team because they're still trying to find out how they want to play.
So a shot clock violation as Haley Jones was trying to work her way to the rim. In the roster, I know Carl Smesko is also looking, and his staff trying to figure out where are going to be the right pieces, because after this one, there's some decisions to make.
Some tough ones too, and he talked about and from this one game. And I've got a little trivia for you, Angel.
Oh, boy.
Who from last season, who was on the Atlanta Dream staff, as Taylor Theory lights it up from beyond the arc, who on the Dream Sellers remind you of in the face?
I'm not doing this with you. That's not trivia. That's your personal opinion.
Come on. Who does she look like? I'll give you a hint. It was a coach.
I'm pretty sure it was a coach. I am not saying a word. Sydney Colson off to the right as obviously that Taylor Theory trying to earn her space in this league as Haley Jones, that patent spin move on the inside, drains it, smooth as butter, and a time to find their spot on a roster. Biggest lead was 4 for Atlanta, the biggest lead for Indiana, Fort and Hull. I don't know if I've seen a better quarter from her.
Yeah, if you want to earn a roster spot, another thing you can do is play defense. Whoever is getting caught up on Hull has got to do a better job.
Haley Jones from outside couldn't connect. Sellers. That ball under the basket. Someone in that corner finds Lexi Hull, who gets blocked by Taylor Theory.
And that's a good job by Theory, showing her versatility defensively, that she can switch on that block.
Giant Sellers picked by Sydney Colson. At this point, they're like, you are the look. You are the option for Lexi Hull.
And Lexi's just taking advantage, go out here and ball. Like we at the playground playing 5-on-5. A lot of contact right there with Ashley. You have to think about it. A lot of these players on the court right now are either fresh out of college or have only been in the league one season. And we see a lot of turnovers, a lot of discombobulated basketball, but they're all trying to figure it out on this pro level.
And a foul will be committed. Naz Hillman will go to the free throw line, but we'll send it to Autumn for more.
Challenges in a way that clicks. And get this, y'all, Coach Smesko wasted no detailed approach to the Dream.
Absolutely. That's what a lot of the different players, I know it's a new look and a lot.
We were trying to get a beat on him and trying to figure out his style of coaching. And I asked him if he had a military background, and he was like, no, he doesn't. But he said there's no middle ground, no gray ground. You know exactly what he's saying, exactly what he wants. But I like it because he doesn't have to scream and shout to do it. Everybody in practice, when he talks, he commands attention. And the players really listen to him because they know that he's taking it back to technique and form. As Haley Jones shows that she wants a spot on this team, and she got drafted too.
This is a 5-point game. 14 seconds left, but it seems like they're just going to let things play out.
Well, the next 2 times that we see Indiana, I fully expect this game to look a lot different. They're trying to figure out pieces right now that are going to make the team competitive even tonight. Just a 5-point difference.